How are you? All right, thanks. St Andrews is a very, very special place. If I had to have one round of golf, where would I like to have it on a beautiful day? I'd have to say St Andrews.
And the captain too, right? Nice to see you.
You watch it when you're a young lad growing up, and it's the one tournament you'd want to win. You know, it's the biggest tournament in the world. There's no doubt about it.
It's my book, so just say something remotely nice.
Somebody in the press said, now that you've won the TPC and you've won the British Open, what is the difference? And I said 125 years.
If you don't like golf at St Andrews, if you don't like the Open, then you need a pulse check or something.
You can't tell any of the stories you guys bought.
The Spanish matador enters the arena 16 years since his Open conquest at the home of golf.
Spanish always on time.
Some may be old and living on in memories decades old. Others only recently in the golfing pasture. A few still competitive in the championship arena, ambitions fresh, but all have one thing in common. Their names are inscribed on the claret jug. And at one time or another, they were declared Champion Golfer of the Year.
And I warn you now, I don't want to see this picture in the internet next week for sale.
On to dine in the R&A Clubhouse, a fitting forum for friendships to be renewed and perhaps a moderate wager or two to be placed on the past champions' challenge ahead.
Hey, Tony, did you get lucky or something? Well, hey,
In the earliest days, the game was played by gentlemen of leisure, and amateur and professional competed on equal terms, though competition between British and American players was as fierce as ever. The United States reigned supreme, with stalwarts such as Bobby Jones, Walter Hagen, and Grand Slammer Gene Sarazen, who dominated the late 20s and early 30s, before the opposition was stepped up, with Henry Cotton representing the home front and Bobby Locke of South Africa.
Well, I suppose everybody figures that winning the British Open Championship is just coming over and waltzing around the course, but I disagree with him.
You read about Sarazen and you read about Hogan winning the Grand Slam, and you say, well, that's something that I would really like to do. But, I mean, I really consider the Open Championship, having been around a long time, it's the most important championship. Because of the tradition, the history, the etiquette, the home of golf, where it all started.
First time I play here is when Henry Cotton won it. I play him, I play Peter Thompson many times. I play Bobby Locke, I play Henry Cotton many times. I play everyone. Only a man I know play is Tiger Woods.
Henry Cotton won the first of his 3 Open titles at Sandwich in 1934. Many felt that he was deserving of even more.
For years I've been looking at photographs of golfers holding this cup like this, and now the day's arrived, and I can hold it like this.
Maybe one of the mysteries why Henry Cotton didn't win more Open championships when he was such a good player, and the best player of all, I suppose, from Britain. He won 3 times. You'd think, well, over 40 years he would have won about 10, but he didn't.
Then Cotton kept a promise. He had told the boys of Carl Kemp Prep School that if he won, he'd show them the cup. And what a reception he got. What might well be called a real Scottish welcome.
After a 6-year break during World War II, the championship returned to St Andrews and was won by American Sam Snead on his first visit.
The first time I came down, it was on a train, and we passed alongside of the golf course, and I looked at it, and it didn't look right to me, and I had a man sitting beside of me, and I said, is that a disbanded golf course? And he jumped up and he said, I'll have you know that's St. Andrews. I said, you mean they're playing the Open here? Oh, he said, the championship.
Slamming Sam won by 4 strokes in 1946, at a time when the amateur game provided as many popular heroes as the professional game.
You didn't know. A lot of times that people that you never heard of, you're playing old buddies with them. Well, I treated it just like when I played with my brothers. I want to beat hell out of them, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very special welcome to the Past Champions Challenge this afternoon. And the team returning the lowest 4-hole score will receive a cheque for £40,000 made out to their favourite charities. In the event of a tie, the team with the highest average age will be declared the winners.
88-year-old Snead is given a hero's welcome as the most senior of the competitors of the Past Champions Challenge at the Old Course on the eve of the Millennium Open. Tens of thousands of spectators line the fairways of the 1st, 2nd and 17th and 18th holes to see Snead and 21 other Open champions enjoying the rare occasion to play with their predecessors and successors at the home of golf. South African 4-time winner Bobby Locke spearheaded the 1950s domination by Commonwealth golfers, which soon included young Australian Peter Thomson.
Well, he was the one, of course, to beat because before I ever got to the scene here, he'd already won a couple of championships, and he was the big man. So he was the target, really.
He is fantastic player around the green. He is not giving much impression in the long game because he hooked the ball very much. I have a many chance to win the British Open. I finished twice second and 3 times third. And every time I lose it is because my putt is lousy.
Argentinian Roberto de Vincenzo was always just short of victory on several occasions in the late 40s and early 50s, when he fell just behind either Cotton or Locke. Despite his prominence on the leaderboards at that time, he would actually have to wait almost another 2 decades before lifting the trophy.